Welcome back to the channel. The task at hand today is to try to get this brown 1986 pickup truck running so I can get it moved in and out to pull things in. So let's get to it. All right, I think the first thing that needs to be done is to clean out all the junk that's piled around the truck so we can actually get to it to work on it. Done. I really don't know how long this vehicle has been setting in this position and the last time it's been started, but the inspection sticker on this says that it is 2005, so it's probably been off the road 2005, 2006, I'm going to guess. I don't know that it's been sitting here the entire time. You think it may have been started once, maybe 5-10 years ago. I'm not sure. I gotta find a latch to get it open now. Where's the latch at? You see it? There we go. And this has a 350 in it. And I think the plan today, what I want to do is go ahead and pull the plugs out of it, squirt a little fluid in there. And you know what, that's debatable. A lot of guys say throw a battery in it and just turn it over, and that's fine. It'll probably work just fine. I've done it myself. But with this one here, I think I'm going to go ahead, pull the plugs out, because I want to look to see what the condition of the plugs are in. You know, that could tell you quite a bit about the engine. And while it's out, I'm going to go ahead and throw a little oil in there to lube it up since it's been setting. You can see where at some point somebody did put a little hose into the carburetor. So that tells me that the tank probably is trashed, the fuel tank. So let me get you set up in the stand. We'll go ahead and start on these plugs and take a look at them. All right, let's get these spark plugs out. They're a little tight. A little too tight. Gonna give you motion sickness with that camera bouncing. There's the first one. Get a light over here. And it has a little carbon in there. And the gap. That is an awful narrow gap. I think these should be around 30 thousandths, and I bet you that thing, I bet you that's not even 10 thousandths. All right, I got all the spark plugs out, and I was able to get some oil down into the cylinders. Just use a little bit of WD. So I'm going to set you up here on the tripod, and I'm going to put a socket on the end of that crank, and hopefully this thing isn't frozen, she'll turn over. But let me get you set up. All right, I'm going to put a ratchet on a crankshaft nut down here and give her a spin. Keep an eye on that fan bleed and let me know if it spins, please. All right, here we go. I'll try to get it over one full turn. Well, that's good. Put my flashlight right in the way. What a big dummy. Oh, get on there. All right, there's 2 full turns. So we're good. Now, what do you say we go ahead and hook the battery up in there and hit the key, see if she spins over with the starter. See if it cranks over. Plugs are out of it, so it's not going to start. But allow us to check to see that the make sure I got the ground. Yeah, make sure that we can make sure the starter works. All right, so this is the ground. Where's my positive over here? I went through, I turned everything off. So hopefully we're not going to have a draw. And I do have a little fire extinguisher behind me. I always get a little nervous, especially when you're inside a garage. Get this end in there. Don't want to cooperate. Now let's touch the negative. See if there's any draw. Hopefully not, everything's off, but you never know for sure. We'll listen for anything. Ready? I hear nothing. That's a good sign. All right, she's tight. I don't see anything smoking. That's always good. Check inside real quick. Oh, a buzzard and 4-ways are flashing. Where's the 4-ways? There you go. And the dome light works. So that's good. All right, let me reposition you so you can see the engine, and we'll hit the key, see what happens. Let me know if you see anything that shouldn't happen. All right, here we go. And we'll turn key. Sounds a little funny. I can't really see. But then again, there's no spark plugs in it, so. All right, we're good. We're good. So now, all I'm gonna have to do, get some spark plugs in the morning. Actually, tomorrow's Sunday, so that's church day. I ain't gonna do it tomorrow. Monday morning. Go get some plugs, get her in, a little gas, fire her up. Meanwhile, I'll drop another bolt. And then I'll just disconnect the negative terminal for now, for the night, and I think I'm gonna hang it up for the night. All right, see you in the morning. All right, I got all the spark plugs out. And what I want to show you is if you take a look at the number 7 and the number 5 spark plug, the gaps on them are so small, it's not even funny. I measured The number 7, that's actually only 11 thousandths. The number 5, which I did snap the porcelain off, that measured in at 15 thousandths of an inch gap. That is it. So obviously that's wrong. And if you also look at these, they're all consistent. They all look the same. They are all carboned up. It is not wet, it's dry. It is, so that tells me that's carbon, it's running rich. The gapping on the plugs probably could be leading to that problem too, but it's definitely running rich. But anyway, I do have a new set of Autolite plugs. I'm going to go ahead and throw them in. I don't know that I'm going to film that or not, but once I do get them in and the plug wires back on, I'll bring you back and we'll go ahead and see if we can fire this thing up. Alright, I'm not really the tallest guy in the world here. You watch some of these mechanic shows, these guys are, I don't know, 6'5", something like that, and they just lean right over. But this truck's a little higher, I'm short, so I got my ladder and a little stool to step on. So I'm not really that tall. But anyhow, I went ahead and I gapped all these plugs, checked them out, and one of the things I like to do to get these started, especially because I'm kind of working blind here a little bit, but I like to take a little piece of fuel line and just stick it on there, because you really don't want to cross thread these and mess things up. Again, I am working a little blind. So just get them all started, and not, I don't want to drop them. You drop them, then you mess the gap up. You got to re-gap them. If you don't, then you end up with what we had here already. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these in, and I'll bring you back, because I'm pretty sure you'll get bored watching this. All right. Okay, all the plugs are in, all gapped, wires are all on. That's ready to go. The carburetor, I think I mentioned earlier, it is an Elderbrock, but it's their, I guess, their version of a Quadrajet. Don't really care for it, but that's my opinion. So we're really getting ready to dump a little fuel in there and see if she'll fire off. I'm just going to dump it down in the right down in the Venturis first, and just to see if it does fire, and if it does, then I'll go ahead and fill through the vent tube the bowls and see if we have any leaks that way. And I do have a idea what I want to do for a fuel system, so as long as it fires off that way, then I'm going to go ahead and hook a temporary fuel system up. But before I do that, let me just do a quick walk around, and because this truck, I'll show you this truck. It really is a nice truck. It is a 86, I had mentioned before. It's a beautiful color, very little dents in there, but it does have some rot on the rocker panels, and the one fender on the other side has a little issue, and I'll show you that in a second here. But look at this interior. This is immaculate. It's beautiful. Not a tear in the seat. The dash does have a crack or so in it. Carpet's good, and if you look at the odometer, I don't know if it's showing up, but it's only got 92,000 miles on it, 92,043. And with the condition of the interior, I really do believe that is true. I mean, the pedals, everything look really well. And it's a highly optioned vehicle, power windows, power steering. Well, of course it's got power steering, power door locks, has a dual tank and all that. So it really is a nice truck. Unfortunately, it's just been sitting here for a number of years, collecting everything in the back, and that's the idea, get it running so I can kind of get that taken care of. But on the fender over here, you can just see, well, the door's in, it ain't really showing up, but there's a little bit of chipping right there. The hinge needs to be redone, but overall it's really a beautiful truck. But let me get you in the stand. We'll put a little fuel down there, we'll get a couple fire extinguishers, and see what happens. And I'm just going to go ahead and dump this right down the carburetor for the first one. Give her a little squirt. And now we'll see what happens. If there's any fires, please let me know. I do have a fire extinguisher sitting on standby. And what do you think? All right. So what I want to do now is take that fuel and I'm going to fill up the bowl through the vent tube right here. Maybe a little bit more down in there. So we'll try it again. Hopefully it'll run a little bit longer. All right. Let me do that fuel bowl one more time. And then I want to go ahead and hook up the temporary fuel cell to it and get it running. Give her a little extra. I didn't put a whole lot in it last time. Hopefully it ain't gonna leak all over. All right, let's give her another shot. Oil pressure gauge is good. I wasn't looking at the oil pressure. Yeah, I was. All right, so oil pressure gauge did come up. That's good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this temporary fuel cell set up on it and check for leaks. And I'm going to fire it up and let it run. All right, here we are with our little makeshift fuel cell for this thing. Just some scraps I had laying around, old gas tank out of a Craftsman lawnmower. I put a little off-on switch on it, and I have a little just what $11 cheap fuel pump to pump it up there. It's hooked up to the carburetor over there, and the only thing I have left to do is hook up the negative cable to the pump. Oh, positive just popped off on me. Get back in there and get her on. Little alligator clips don't want to hold on that well. Let's get the negative on. Now let's go ahead and turn the pump on, see if we have any leaks. A little click-clack pump. And I hear it pushing in through the carburetor. And hopefully the float is not stuck, the needle and seat. But right now I don't see anything leaking out, so let's jump in, see if we can get her started and running. Okay. I do have a fire extinguisher handy in case the worst happens. I don't think it will. You know what? I shut the pump off while you were while I was setting up the cameras. So let's see what happens. Is it going to start and stay running? If you see anything under there, let me know. Oh yeah, that idle's pretty good. Check for some leaks. All right, good. I don't see no fuel leaks. So that's good. That is excellent. Idle's just a little bit high, but when it warms up, the choke will probably open up. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down because I have to pump these tires up, and then we are going to see if this thing will move. So let me get these pumped up. All right, I'm gonna put my sunglasses or safety glasses on for this. These tires are very old, and you know, if it does pop out, I certainly want some type of eye protection. It's probably a good idea to wear it all the time when you're pumping up tires. Yeah, there's 9.4 pounds in there right now. I'm only gonna take it up to maybe, I don't know, 15, 20. I ain't gonna put a whole lot in there. I'll say we'll go to 20. Play it by ear, see how the tire looks. $18.4, and it's still pretty soft. So maybe we'll go to 25. Well, I'll be. Maybe we will just go to 30. $29. And 30. We'll leave it there. That's good enough because we're only going to roll it out of the garage. Like I had mentioned earlier, I just want to get this thing running so I can pull it in and out of this bay. I got to get some room cleaned up in this garage so I can work on things easier. You know what? And there's a good example right there. Because I'm tied up on my hose. Let's see if I got enough now. Probably not. Just enough. Just enough. Yeah, as low as these are, if I would have moved them, I'm afraid it would have broke the bead. I mean, maybe not. I mean, there's still some air in it. It's a shame. They're old, but man, they got beautiful tread on them. To the other side. We'll go with 30 pounds. All right, good. Now we got tires pumped up. We'll get you set up again, things cleaned up around it, and see if we can pull it out, see if the tranny works. All right, let's turn the pump on and get the hood lowered a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And hopefully this thing will drive right on up and out of here. I haven't checked the transmission at all yet. And a lot of junk on the back. It's been storage. We used the storage, and I think it's going to clear the door. But I think we're about ready to find out. Let's see. Look at that. Fired right up. There's reverse. There's drive. All right, let's pour out. This windshield is awful dirty. Seems to be running nice. No complaints there. A little high, but I do know there's vacuum leaks also. There's a bunch of hoses that are unplugged, so obviously that's going to mess with it. And it is cold, so I'm going to let it just run for a couple minutes and clean up in the garage where it was sitting. And maybe we'll do a walk around here in a couple minutes, so just hang tight for a second. Alright guys, it's starting to rain. Actually feels like a little sleet out here. So I'm going to have to go ahead and get this thing back into the garage. I was hoping to do a walk around while it was out there, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case today. And I can't tell if I'm backing in straight or cockeyed. And I think I'm cockeyed. That might be alright. I'll stop when I hear the crunching sound. And I hope that wasn't it. Somewhere's around here, I have a pencil mark to put a block. And I'm about a foot. It's got to come back about a foot, and I think I'll be all right. You know what, actually, I think I'm going to shut it off. Leave it right here. All right, I was hoping to do a walk around out in the sunlight with it, but unfortunately, weather kind of turned on me there. It did start to rain, and I didn't want all that stuff in the back getting wet because that would just be a mess, all that cardboard and everything. But it did start up fairly easily. Runs pretty good. It is a high idle, but again, there are a lot of vacuum leaks in there. And but the goal was just to get it started, get it moving so I can get it in and out. I was even able to get up there and fix my garage door closure. It was jammed up and I couldn't get to it because of the truck being there. So the goal was to get it moving, drivable in and out. I can now get other vehicles in here when I need to work on it. So as far as that, I'm going to call it a success. And I'm probably just going to end the video here at this point. But I may or may not do another video plugging up the vacuum lines, everything like that, trying to get it to idle better. I don't know, because I do have 2 lawnmowers out there I need to get out of here. You know, maybe do a quick video on them, see if we can get them running. They were free sitting around. And then I got to get back onto the 53 Dodge. The motor's still sitting over there in the back. It's got to go to the machine shop yet. So anyway, if you like this video, I ask that you please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell for notification. I would greatly appreciate that. So I will see you on the next video.